Hello everyone, welcome to the newest episode of Before the Game. I'm your host Alicifer, and once again joining me is my partner in crime, Starjun.
Hi Alicifer, nice to see you again. It's our third week now, and we're joined by special guest ChuChuZs and EGym from Legacy Esports. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. How are you both going?
Pretty good.
Well, yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, yeah.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you guys. Now, you've been doing pretty interesting in the OPL lately. Do you want to kind of touch on what's been going on up there?
Bryce,
You're right.
Okay, I'll go. So, yeah, we're currently third at the moment, I believe. I think we've lost 4 times. We definitely haven't performed as well as we thought we would, but we have actually fixed a lot of mistakes that we've had in the first, I don't know how many weeks we're in, like 5-6 weeks so far. So, I think we're playing Monday. I think you'll see that we're a much stronger team.
Yeah, that's great.
Beautiful. So, okay, let's just kind of step back a little bit. We'll do a little bit of an introduction, just kind of so that everyone's on the same page. ChuChuZ, who are you? What team do you play for, and what role?
My name is Aaron ChuChuZ Bland. I play mid. What are you laughing about? I play mid lane for Legacy Esports. And how old am I? I'm 18.
I don't think that was in there.
Was that not in there?
I don't think it was.
Why not? Why not?
know.
Girls out there might be interested. And what about you, Jim?
I'm EGym, and I play for Legacy, and I play support. Best role.
And how old are you? Just
How old? Oh, I'm 20.
No, but what's your real name?
Oh, Bryce Paul.
Yeah.
Nice name.
Beautiful. All right. So once again, let's go back to OPL, guys. Now let's just talk about 2014. You guys went and represented us in wildcards, and you beat the Chiefs, which, at the current standing of where the Chiefs are undefeated. So that was a huge thing. You guys went overseas. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about what happened there?
Yeah. Beating Chiefs. It always feels good. Like that was a while ago. That was back at winter. Yeah, I don't know. It was such a cool tournament. I don't just winning feels great. Like Chiefs were obviously they were the favorites to win that tournament as well. They're kind of within OS. That's just always the case. Like whether they're Immunity or whether they're Chiefs, like they just seem to be the favorites. And so winning that going over to wildcards was really cool. Being at an international event was obviously new for us. It was a really cool experience. But I'm coming into this year, like Chiefs have obviously stepped up their game, and they are they 10-0? Are they or 14-0?
Yeah, 10.
10-0 currently.
10-0.
Yeah, based on the games that they have left, I think like Chiefs are gonna 14-0 easily to split. Like I don't think they're playing anyone that's gonna take a game off them.
Yeah, their last 4 matches are definitely easy matches, so it's pretty expected that they'll go 14-0. But
Easy.
I wanted to talk to you guys about, obviously, you had your big performances in winter. Now we have the OPL split. How much more difficult is this new OPL split for you guys? Because it would probably be safe to say that your performance has possibly dropped, at least in comparison to the other top teams.
I agree.
Aaron, you agree?
Yeah, so, I mean, the OPL sort of forced a lot of teams to practice much more often because, you've got games every week. I feel like other teams have definitely improved. It's hard to say if they've improved more than us, just because we haven't been doing as well as we thought we would. But it's definitely made the competition a lot closer. I mean, Chiefs are undefeated, so they're going they're doing great. They're doing so well. I think Direwolves, Legacy, and I think Immunity, and Avant, I guess. We are all very close at the moment for that second spot, and it's really good to see that Oceanic Esports is just so much more competitive now.
Well, I guess that kind of leads into the question. Now that we have the OPL format, a lot of the games are played online, whereas last year a lot of the big performances games were all live. Would you think that your teams are better at live performances or the current OPL online format that you're playing now?
Our team, I think we've always been better at live events. I don't know. online we're good, and then when you get to like a big tournament, you're playing on stage. It's like a whole different. It's just like a completely different game almost. Like there's so much more that goes into it, and I don't know. We deal with nerves really well. I think we're not a team that like gets nervous on stage and then like doesn't play our game. So that's like good for us. And so yeah, there's a lot of differences between like playing online. And I think like like how they've done OPL, like how it's all online now and like there's games every week. I definitely think it's better than like sort of cramming for a tournament, like having like one split's worth of like not games, but like there's only like one tournament that matters every 3 months compared to like every game like matters every single week. So I think it's a lot better that way.
And so you guys aren't playing this week, but you do have a couple of games. Sorry, you're not playing tonight, but on Monday you are having a couple of games versus Sudden Fear and Direwolves. Now, Direwolves are second currently on the ladder. Yeah. What are you guys doing to like prep for that? It's kind of a big thing if you guys aren't able to, you know, take them out.
I'll take this one. I mean, yeah, Direwolves are definitely like they're second place for a reason. I mean, we've been like we're really like we scrim with them probably. We scrim with them like a decent chunk. They're definitely like a very strong team, and versing them on Monday won't be easy. So, yeah, I expect it to be a really close game, a really good game. But yeah, I reckon we're just gonna like practice our best. We versed them a fair bit, as I said, so we definitely know a few of their tricks. So you'll probably be seeing those on Monday. Yeah.
Yeah. In my mind, like we should win. And we shouldn't have lost like the first time we played them.
And we gave them Callista. What else did we give them?
Everything. Oh.
We actually every single champion they got like perfection on Hecarim, King on Callista, like
everything they wanted they got. So like we drafted poorly, not taking away like not trying to like take away anything. Like they outplayed us. They outdrafted us and they outplayed us.
We just gave them all the great champ. Yeah.
And I think like in my mind like we should win this game. Like
that's actually something I want to talk about. What's your kind of approach to drafting for these big games against a team like Chiefs or like Direwolves? Like, how do you go about your draft? Like, do you have certain picks that you want to try and take away from them, or do you just try and run a team comp that you think will do really well?
I think it like meta is like in terms of drafting, meta is like the most dominant thing. Like obviously, like on any particular patch, like Kassadin is like super broken, and then they like completely butcher in the next patch. So like bans are like. Yeah, like it varies slightly from like team to team depending on like Direwolves obviously really like Callista, whereas a team like I don't know Fornot like doesn't like it or something like that, you know. So it does vary slightly, but most of all I think like the meta just dictates most things, and depending on whether you're blue side or purple side means you like ban more specifically versus like them, because you get like blue side gets one first pick and then purple can counter with 2. So on blue side you don't want to give them like too many OPs because they get more champions picked early. So yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Now that we're talking about a few champions, something that I wanted to talk to you about, ChuChuZ, is you have one of the most, probably deepest champions pools in the OPL. How do you manage to stay fit on so many champions?
That's a good. That's a good question. Well, I just playing mid lane. I mean, you're open to so many different play styles. That's probably the best thing about the lane. I, as just an individual, I get real bored if I constantly play the same thing. So I'm always constantly pestering my teams, like, oh, let's try this, or let's go with this. And, I'm known to be that guy who just plays a different champ every single game, which isn't good, it ultimately isn't very good, because you want to get good at, like, a couple champions, and then sort of excel with those ones. But, I think it does have its positives, like it does have its benefits of having such a great champion pool, because you've got the pocket picks, you've got a lot of counter picks, and it gives your team just a lot more options. So I think so pretty much like I enjoy having a lot of champions, and I feel it benefits the team as well.
Well, that's pretty reasonable. Among the mid champions that you play a lot, which one do you enjoy the most, really? Or which couple do you enjoy playing, really?
I want to put Ezreal out there.
If you didn't say Ezreal,
no, Ezreal at the moment is so much fun. Like I don't know why all these mid laners in OC aren't playing him, but like, oh, maybe that's because, I don't know, I have so much fun on him. Like, just tearing the rift up, you know?
How about Bryce? Is it fun when ChuChuZ plays Israel for you?
No.
No?
Are you serious?
Like,
I do well,
there
though.
are specific scenarios where like Ezreal is good, but he wants to play it like every single game. So I don't
He's
know.
not a mid player.
He doesn't get it as much as he liked, which I think is a good thing. So
Yeah, well, that's pretty reasonable. Some of the champions that we... Actually, how about you take this, Ali?
No, I think we're about to ask the same question with the talking about champions, and now we have the new one out, Bard. EGym, this is for you. What are your thoughts on Bard? Does he have any sort of go for him? Maybe when people finally learn how to play him.
I think I've actually played a lot of Bard. Not on my main, but so I haven't played Bard in like high elo, but I've played a fair bit of him, and he's really fun. Like if anything, like he's just an incredibly fun champion. I feel like he's really strong mid game. Like he's not that good in lane, and then like when everybody's grouping late game, your ult. In theory, like it'd be really good because you can just like ult people and they're just like Zhonya's and they're out of a fight. But if everybody's grouping, like you're bound to hit. Like if your top lane is diving their AD carry, you can like ult both of them, and then it's like just trading 1-for-1 or like. So his ult isn't actually that useful outside of mid game where like you're making picks and that sort of thing. So I don't know how he'll be in competitive play. He's not available in OPL for like the next 3 weeks because he's a new champion. So we haven't like practiced him in scrims or anything. So I don't have like too much of a good feel for him in competitive, but in solo queue he's like fun. If nothing else, he's fun. So.
No worries, guys. I also would just like to remind you, if any of you have any questions for our guests as well, there is a $10 RP prize going out to the best questions, so make sure you're asking them in Twitch chat. We will be calling them out later. Alright, just also want to talk, we've got a couple of new items as well. We've got the Luden's Echo. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that we're going to see that actually been picked up instead of the DFG? No, we've got shaking heads here. Okay, ChuChuZ, take that one.
Well, I've built it like once or twice now, and it just costs too much for what it does. Like, I think movement speed is probably one of the best, I don't know, attributes towards mid champions, and like I think the movement speed's great, but the actual passive and stats for like what it's worth isn't. I don't think it's worth it. So, I mean, like, why would you get that thing when you can get a Zhonya's Hourglass, which like gives you invulnerability for 2 seconds? I mean. I don't.
EGym play Bard, and then you've got an invulnerability.
yeah, easy.
What about situationally? What about situationally? Is there any champions that you could see working on?
Well, I built it on Ari, and it wasn't that bad. It really wasn't that bad. But no, just as I said, like it costs too much. Honestly, I mean, like the 3 main items you go for, and like that's your actual core build is like 20% CDR, mana regen, Athene to Morello's, Death Cap, Void Stuff. Like those 3, and like as soon as you get those 3, you're a mid, like you're that AP carry which destroys everything. So I've
seen it on Nidalee Jungle, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to bring up, the Nidalee Jungle.
I haven't seen it on Nidalee.
Oh, interesting.
So like I don't know, you already have like an AP mid or whatever, you have a tank, and like if you're just sieging, like if you had like Ezreal Corki, if you had like the Ezreal mid comp, and you had like Nidalee Jungle and she has like Luden's Echo, and you're just sitting in front of a tower, like you hit someone with a spear and it bounces, it's kind of cool. But I don't know if it'll be worthwhile like replacing, because like does Nidalee Jungle builds the same thing, like she just goes like jungle item.
Maybe, yeah. I think Nidalee can get away with going it though, because like
it delays your like Deathcap Void though by so much, so it's like your spears do less, but they do AOE.
One of the good things about it though, it does have quite a flexible build path, so that you could kind of jump into it if you get like a big spike and you can pick up that needlessly large rod or something.
What does it build out of? I don't even know.
It comes from
the Wisp and the needlessly large.
Yeah. So you can kind of switch into it from whatever. I think it's probably not the strongest item going around, but I think if it gets a few quality of life buffs, it might be up there.
Yeah, I reckon it's really gone on a few champions. Just the item hasn't been around long enough for people to figure it out. But
yeah. Kind of like Haunting Guys. It's like meh, but it's good on like a few things.
It's like meh.
Well, like, you know what I mean? So, like, eventually, like, when people, like, as patches, like, roll out, people will find out that it's, like, actually good on some champions, and then it'll be, like, core build for them, but...
Yeah, that always happens. If people can master it, that's similar with Bard. If people can master Bard, I'm sure he'll be quite a good champion.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
And thank you very much. We do also have the new item of Cinderhulk coming out, and we've seen a lot more tankier junglers. Do you think that these guys are going to become more of a meta build because of how strong this item is? Are we going to see Carbon now going more onto the tanky kind of junglers, perhaps?
Carbon loves Nautilus, but
I love Nautilus.
Yeah, I don't know how strong tanks are going to be. Like every time they change the jungle, like every time Riot changes the jungle, whether it's like between seasons and everybody's like, oh, tanks are coming back, or it's like that sort of thing. I don't know. It like tanks are around for like 2 weeks, and then everyone realizes that you can just pick like Vi and Lee Sin and like stuff that can bully them out of the jungle, and you win anyway. So like, I did hear Carbon saying the other day, like when we were just hanging around, he was saying he thinks like more of the weird type of junglers, like Nocturne and like Wukong and like that sort of thing will come back. What like junglers without sustain, because they did like they introduced Cinderhulk, which like makes tanks okay, but then they also like reduced the amount of damage that jungle camps do. So like junglers that don't have inbuilt sustain might come back and like be okay, I guess.
Yeah, one of the junglers that I found who's actually done quite well from that new item is Skarner. I think you might see him pop up a little bit. He's quite a deadly champion if you can kind of master him, and the changes really benefit him. So it'll be interesting to see how that does affect everything in your meta.
Chief's sub-impaired. He like, all he plays is Skarner jungle in solo queue. Yeah. He plays like Skarner and Olaf. He's so weird, he builds like Face of the Mountain on Olaf jungle. He thinks it's better than Warmogs.
Face of the mountain, really?
Yeah. Because the shield accounts for the difference in HP, but then you get CDR from it as well. So
how deep into his build does he pick up the item though?
Second item, I think.
Second item,
he gets it
like
really
jungle
early.
item and then Face of the Mountain.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quite an interesting pickup.
Yeah, and it's more like versatile than Warmogs because you can shield allies. If you don't need the shield yourself, you can shield someone else.
Yeah.
Does he like run into lanes and like execute minions to attack them?
That's just the solo queue way though. So like, I don't know.
You got attack.
That's not surprising.
Like, guys, you can't get angry at me. I'm like giving you the stacks.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't get minions anyway. I don't mind. It's fun too.
It's not the way. All right. I just kind of want to touch on to a interesting subject, something you guys announced today/yesterday. I don't know if everyone knows about it yet. So, what was the big announcement for Legacy, guys?
Aaron, you're up.
I'm up?
Yeah.
Am I up? So I'm pretty sure everyone knows this by now, but we've actually moved Karjun to the sub position, and we've moved Minky back onto the main roster.
Welcome back, Minky.
The whale.
So, Minky is now your top laner again, and Tallywacker is ADC, is that correct?
Yep.
Yes.
So, want to explain the logic as to why that happened? Why is Minky now top on hundreds?
I can do that if you want, Bryce.
Yeah, go. Anyway.
Okay, so yeah, we moved Minky back to sub. I think like it was after wildcard, so that's like been a while. Like that was a while ago, and we've been experimenting a lot. We had Tally top for a while. If any of you guys remember that back at PAX regional finals.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, then we eventually moved Tally to AD because we all saw that Tally was a much stronger AD carry than Cardred, so we put Harry top, and like Harry's
Cardred, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we all call each other that, like both. So.
Yeah. So we had Cardred as top, and we've been trying that for like, if you guys are watching the OPL, we've been playing with Cardred top for a long time, and we actually saw that Minky was improving a lot as a player. In solo queue, he made his own team. If not, what are they called? Bang Esports. Yeah, he made his own team, and they're amazing. And they're
currently in the Challenger Series, which plays on Tuesdays and Wednesdays if anyone wants to watch. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah. So we had so we saw Minky was performing really well, and we pretty much said, hey, like we're actually like we think you've improved a lot. Would you consider coming back to the main roster? Week and a bit later, we started trialing him, and it turns out really well. So then we made the actual statement saying that we moved them top.
It's just like we just want what's best for like the team. We just want to be the strongest team that's possible. So like with whatever roster we've got available. Yeah, it's not easy. Like it sucks.
It's really not.
Because we're all good friends.
You guys are friends.
Yeah, it's like nobody's leaving on bad terms, and it's never been like that. But it's we just want the strongest roster that we can get. So at the moment we think it's this, so that's what we'll be using.
And so can you guys use him for your games coming up on Monday?
Yeah.
Or yeah?
Can we?
Yeah, because Minky's a sub, so like he's on the roster
Yeah.
anyway.
Oh
so
yeah, sorry. Right.
It's not like we picked up someone from another team,
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
think you have to wait like a week or so. I mean, not another
Yeah, there's
team.
about a week clearance usually to
Yeah.
put adding new players onto the roster. But
Yeah. Go full
So
as
how
in.
do you feel like that might affect your games next week?
I mean, like, yeah, we've had Minky for like just over a week and a bit now, and like we've actually improved a lot, just through my eyes. So I think, yeah, you just have to wait and see, I guess, on Monday.
There's more going into it than just the Minky swap, but I think like over the past week we have improved a lot. And things will be a lot better.
that's another thing. I think you guys recently picked up a new coach. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so our old coach, Atoki, or Luke, he was really good, but at the beginning of the year, or like, yeah, after PAX, he was like, it was hard to juggle between like real life stuff and like coaching, and then as I got closer and closer to OPL, he like I don't know, he just wasn't around as much as he couldn't be around as much as he needed to be. And then eventually he was just like, I'm not, like, you guys should look for someone else. Like, he can't spend the amount of time he needs to coaching. So we looked for a new coach, and now I've got Marcus and Maxi, our analysts. So they've been putting a lot of work in, and we think things will be a lot better because we have definitely not been performing the way we'd like to. Like when you go from like having a coach, it was actually really eye-opening for me because I guess we like took advantage of Luke. Or not even that. It's like you don't fully understand everything a coach does for you until like they're gone. And then we just like lost all direction, and we were picking like we played that Draven game that we won. It's like we would never pick Draven before that. And then we had like I don't know, Tally hit like 200 CS before he got a kill, I think, that game. But like it worked out. But yeah, we just like lost a lot of direction as a team, and like we decided that giving Direwolves all their best champions was a good idea, and like that sort of thing. Yeah, so now we've got a new coach. Yeah. It's I think it's a big improvement, and we're more of a team. Like we're just working together better, and things will be improving from here on out. So it's good.
That's good to hear.
I certainly hope so. Well, what are your guys' predictions for tonight? Now let me just say what the games are so that everyone knows. So tonight, the 19th, let's have a look. We have Immunity versing Fortnite and Immunity versing Avant-Garde. Now let's just talk about these two games first. What are your predictions?
Immunity versus Fortnite, easy.
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Well, they did get their first win, so they have got their first win. I guess they're kind of hot in comparison to the rest of their season, but I think Immunity it's hard to get past them.
Did they get a win?
I reckon Fortnite.
Yep.
I reckon Fortnite will have the upset.
Really?
Really?
Why?
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Because they played well yesterday, and I also think that like. I don't know. I feel like they've realized a lot of their issues just by playing with them in solo queue a lot, and I think they've improved a lot. So I feel that they have a shot tonight.
I can feel it.
I feel like they can maybe pull away the win.
So that's one for Immunity then.
Oh yeah, we've split the Legacy boys. Interesting. I think the next matchup though will be much closer. It's much harder to predict. Avant-Garde versus Immunity. What do you guys think about that?
I think I am again.
I think
AV have Porky again, so like
that's a very hard matchup. Honestly.
Like they had him for just a week, or because I think they didn't play 1 week or something like that.
Well, they had him last week, and then there's been a week off, so technically they would have been playing him for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I think AV will. I mean, Porky was such like a essential character in that team, so I definitely think Porky can like help carry Avant through and win. But yeah.
What about you, Starjun? What do you think?
I'm not too sure. I think it'll be a really interesting match. I think the top lane will definitely be the focus of who wins the game, but I think that Avant-Garde will probably take it. They've been looking a bit stronger in their last games now from when they started. They've been on a good incline to performance. So yeah, but I think it'll be one of the closer games we've had in this OPL split. So I'm excited to see it.
Alright guys, and for the second round, we have... Oh, sorry, I have this. Fortnite versus Chiefs, and AV versus Chiefs.
All right, Chiefs are playing tonight.
Yeah, Chiefs will win both games, like easily, I think.
No, 4-0, man. They've got it tonight.
I think AV have a better chance of upsetting Chiefs than 4-0, but I don't think it'll happen.
That's true, yeah. I mean, I know, Chiefs look so strong, like, I mean, throughout the entire split, honestly, so...
Yeah. Chiefs are really good online as well. I think Chiefs are better online than they are at LAN.
Not taking anything away from LAN, but, like, I think they're one of the teams that know how to, like, play very well, like, because when you play at a LAN, you're really good with your team right next to you because you're really focused, but they're very focused online, even when you have all these distractions around you.
Yes, they've certainly definitely improved their gameplay, especially from last year. Alright guys, we do have some community questions, so I think we've got a couple of good ones. Do you want to take us through them first? Starjun from Explicit.
Alright, the first one is from Explicit Implicit. Oh, cool name. Question for both Legacy members. Would you agree that TSM and CLG rivalry is similar to your rivalry with the Chiefs? I guess that's a difficult question to answer.
What does that mean? Like, what's the TSM CLG rivalry? Like, TSM always win, right?
Well, I guess it's more of a kind of rivalry where the players aren't really rivals with each other. It's more the fans, and to some extent, even the organization owners are quite rivals. So, do you think that you guys have a rivalry with them, or it's just kind of, as you've both been the top teams, that's obviously going to be a storyline that unfolds?
I said there's always going to be a rivalry.
There's always going to be a rivalry, yeah. Because, like, well, we've just played the most finals versus each other, I think. Well, actually, what do we play? No. I don't know, I think the winter finals is what, like, started it, I guess. Because we were irrelevant in autumn. We're playing Heimerdinger at top back in autumn, like, competitive games.
We were just a bunch of kids just, like, headed up to the Gold Coast to play League.
Yeah, so, I don't know, but it's cool. Like, we all get along with Chiefs. Like, I think, if two teams were, like, friends, like, our two teams, like, we get along really well with one another. We, like, hang out at LAN and stuff. They're really cool guys. And I think, just because our finals have been, like, the most hyped, I think there is a rivalry. We don't hate them or anything, but it feels really good to beat them. Doesn't feel so good to lose, so I'd like to get back to winning. If that's a thing, that'd be nice.
If that's a thing. If that's ideal.
Yeah.
You guys got this easy peasy. Don't you worry. Right. From Bluff Darfox. Okay, legit question. Always a good way to start. What direction do you see Legacy going now with Minky back in, and what is Carter planning on doing now as a sub?
I don't know, we talked about the Minky change already. Like, we think it's, like, going to be beneficial. We're only going to go upwards from here, and I think it's too early to say what Harry's going to do, or Carter's going to do. I don't know, we only officially made the change, like, not too long ago, so we'll see how things go. Nobody left, like, he didn't leave on bad terms, or, like, he's not even left, like, he's still a sub, like, he's still on the roster. Yeah. And I guess, we have, like, not really, like, a fluid roster, but we have, like, 6 players that I guess we've now cycled between, like, a bunch of different roles, but, so we all work well together, so I don't know what he'll do at this point.
Yeah. I think, that's pretty reasonable. Our next community question is from Takua16. Who do you think will join the OPL from the Oceanic Challenger Series?
It's in gaming.
Hey!
It's in gaming. Jeeves boys are gonna pull it through. I reckon. All of them are really good. If you guys know, like, they've got Rhymus, they've got Points, they've got Jeeves.
Isn't it not Jeeves?
Watching is gonna hate you.
Not Jeeves, but yeah.
No, but, like, we've versed them a bit, and I think they're definitely a team to watch, and I think they'll get him.
Anyone else?
I
Bang, maybe? Possibly Bang Esports?
Bang, yeah.
Now that they've lost Minky.
Yeah, that's true. But how about this way? Do you think that, like, those teams, so Sin and Bang and any other top challenger teams, do you think that they will be able to keep up with the OPL teams? Or at least the bottom teams?
Yeah, I don't think there's much difference between, like, the bottom and, like, some of the challenge. Well, yeah. I don't know, like, to be honest, I haven't, like, watched much of the challenges teams.
No, that's reasonable.
So, like, I can't completely say, but I don't think, like, I think Sin and Bang are both good teams, and they'll take games off people, so, well, like, if they get in, they're honestly, they're, like, the only 2 teams I know, so,
yeah.
I can't.
Well, there's only 2 other teams left now. I believe it's, best players Ocean and Team Absolute, because KKC forfeited. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, one team went full Fortnite and forfeited.
Yeah, they weren't able to patch in time, which is... Oh well, they get given like a week's notice. So
how can you not patch?
Yeah, that's our own fault. But oh well, it happens. Sometimes you get problems. You can't really blame them for that. Should we go on to the next community question, Alicifer?
Yes, from Haha Great OCE game. EGym, who do you think are the best supports in OCE? And you don't need to see me. It's okay.
Number one, Alicifer, obviously, and then Rosie and me.
Gee, that was so quick, man.
Well,
You're just like, yeah, Rosie and me.
Rosie and me.
Easy.
Yeah.
In no particular order. Depending on champions, I think. Because, like, I've always favoured, like, tanky things. Like, even though I've played Janna and gone 0-8 every game this season, I always, like, I was a Thresh one-trick pony. And then, like every support in OS, apparently, we're all just, like, Thresh mains, and then we, like, play competitive and learn how to play other things.
There is a lot of Thresh mains. Like Junie was a Thresh main before he started playing. There's a lot of people that, Flying Jew. Yeah, exactly, yeah. No, it's very interesting. But I guess Thresh is kind of champion. If you can master Thresh, you can probably master other champions as well.
Yeah, I think it says a lot about, like, OS culture, if that's even a thing, I guess. Because, we haven't played an NA for, like, ages, and we don't play on other servers, obviously, but I think OS is, like, everybody just wants to, like, be the best and outplay everyone, because like, the sporting culture, I guess, and, like, everybody is, like, really competitive, so people don't want to play, like, Janna and solo queue and just sit back and, like, watch their AD carry do nothing, and then you're useless. So it's, like, everybody wants to play Thresh, and, like, everybody wants to carry the game, even if you're support.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why a lot of supports are, like, Thresh mains or, like, Blitz Crank Cheese, like one-trick ponies. Cough, cough. And so, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry.
The next community question is something that I've actually wondered before, so I'm really happy that someone's asked it. But it's from Scumbag Ray, nice name. How did you guys decide on your logo? Is there any relevance between the team name and the tree?
When we got the name Legacy, I was thinking like full-on Shogun era, where like all like the empires and like Japanese samurai swords and all that. So I was thinking of all of that, and then okay, Tim and I argue about this, but Carbon. I gotta stop doing that. But Carbon and I argue about this a lot, and we eventually came up with like Legacy is sort of like the family tree, right? So we thought, like, and Tim's all for the color green. I don't know why. He was just like, let's have green in there.
Well, green wasn't taken. Like,
green wasn't taken.
We were
but,
AV, and like, I don't know.
So we went with a tree. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We went with a tree because it's green, and then black just sort of went in because it looks nice on the background.
Yeah.
That's a good enough reason as any, I think.
It wasn't too much thought.
Alright, guys, we have a question from Thresh of Fresh OCE. What is the best way to get off tilt?
I wouldn't know.
This isn't gonna. I want to take this one because Bryce can answer it. One, take a break. Two, go do some exercise. Lose some heat. Three,
go full carbon, do push-ups.
Yeah, do some push-ups. Three, I don't know. Just like try and do something which will help you relax or help you calm down. And if that is just like not playing for the next 5 days, then that might be what you have to do.
Stop playing. Like, don't play when you're tilting. You're just gonna pick Heimerdinger support.
It's just gonna get worse, honestly.
I know that feel.
Heimerdinger is the best though.
Alright, I think we'll have one more community question. Sorry for anyone if we didn't manage to say out your community questions, but hopefully you can come back next week. We'll try and get going. So this question is from XX Dari and XX. It's a question for both members. What is your opinion on Australia getting more recognition internationally in esports games?
Bryce, you want to go?
We need to perform first. Like, recognition comes by like playing and like winning, not going to wildcards and getting
3-0 by Dark Passage.
By Dark Passage by Carl Drogo, man. Oh no. Yeah. So I guess it wasn't league specific. It was in esports games. I don't know, because like Vox like go overseas. I don't know anything about CS:GO, but like Vox play like they went to some tournament thing. I don't follow it, but I don't know. We just need more exposure, I guess, and then teams like if people from Australia perform, like people go overseas and then bring back new strategies, that sort of thing. Like the whole region improves, so we just need to play better, and then people will think more highly of you.
Now, do you have anything more you want to add to that? ChuChuZ?
Oh, no. I mean, Bryce is right. Like, recognition comes of, like, being able to play well, especially on an international scale. So, I mean, like, we're all in this as a region, like, so, like, just helping each other, like, we'll build as a region, and therefore other regions will recognize us, think that we're actually not bad, and then we can maybe go to Worlds one day and compete against Koreans.
Excellent. Alright guys, just one last thing to wrap this up. Do you have any shout-outs you'd like to make?
Shout out to the sponsor? Yeah, Asus.
Yeah, Asus.
Asus, our new coach, Marcus and analyst Maxi. Shout out to the boys, Tim, Uber, Carbon, Uber. Who's the others? Oh, Minky, Tally.
Cardred.
Thanks to, Cardred.
Rusty.
Rusty. Am I missing anyone? No, and also thanks to all the fans who were following Legacy. We haven't been performing too well, but hopefully that'll change on Monday when you see us crushing noobs.
Beautiful.
Shout out.
We look
Big
forward to
words.
that rivalry.
Them fighting words.
Yeah. I have to give a shout out to Flying Jew and of course Fasby. Hello.
Excellent.
Cute.
Oh, that's cute. Alright, guys, I want to announce the winner for the question. Sorry about the accents. We have decided that the winner for the RP is Scumbag Ray. So, make sure you message the stream, and we will send you that code, so congratulations for that one. Alright, guys, we are going to wrap this up. We have run a little bit over time, so sorry about that. Don't forget, if you want to follow our lovely guests, you can see their Twitter handles there, and also the co-hosts and myself, you can find our Twitters on the stream. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in to our week of Before the Game. Find us next Thursday at 5:30 till 6. Until then, we'll see you guys then. Bye.
So.